Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Battle of Yavin scenario pack. We're going to be talking about Darth Vader and his Wingmen TIE fighters that are going to be coming in this pack. AMG has been putting out a couple of articles lately, and so one by one I kind of want to go through these and just talk about some of the individual subsets of some of these ships and talk about the new cards that you can expect to find for the standard loadouts in the Battle of Yavin pack for X-Wing. And yeah, it's a pretty cool setup. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it already, I'm a big fan of the standardized loadouts because it gives you more of a quick build plus. And that's what we're going to look at today. And I'll talk about why I like some of these, how it's doing some new things. And the only real unknown is really what these are going to cost as far as their point cost. Now, this whole pack is set to come out next month, so if you're anticipating some additional X-Wing content, you don't have to wait too long. End of next month, they should be hitting store shelves, provided no more delays. So hopefully that will be happening. And this is just the first of several. We've already talked about the Siege of Coruscant pack that also got recently spoiled, and of course there'll be more articles for that. And of course, it seemed like they're just doing more and more articles lately, so that's really an exciting thing. Also, if you guys are new here, we just started another giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card. You can put that towards an expansion of your choice. All you have to do is leave a comment and be a subscriber. It's as simple as that. Let me know what your favorite ship from the Battle of Yavin is. I'd love to hear from that. And what do you guys think of the standardized loadouts? I know that not everybody's a fan, but I have heard a lot more positive remarks than negative on these. So I think that that's pretty cool because it's optional, right? So even if it's not for you, it's not gonna ruin your game experience. You can just opt to you can always still build your own ships. So I do think that's pretty cool. Also want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Be sure to head over to Luxury Playstyle to check out some amazing full metal tokens compatible with Star Wars X-Wing. If you use code Crabbok VIP, you're gonna save 15% off of your order. Also, orders $35 or more are going to get that free lightsaber nunchuck Crabbok token in there. You can use that to mark critical hits. You can also use it for light side versus dark side. It's got a lot of different applications in your various tabletop games. So check out luxuryplaystyle.com. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the man himself, Darth Vader. This one is kind of interesting because it's kind of a way to kind of get you to take a look back at Darth Vader in this high advanced X1, because we recently started to get comfortable, or at least Darth Vader Imperial players started to perhaps get comfortable running Darth Vader in a TIE Defender, and so now all of a sudden they've kind of borrowed a little bit of that aggressive nature of Vader in the Defender and kind of given him a new ability. Now, he doesn't get his free action that he will, I would say, he doesn't get his double action potential that he got in the original TIE Advanced X1. So this is a slightly different version, and so this might not be the version of Darth Vader that you run all the time, but it's definitely an option. So there's a couple of things we want to note when we look at this card. Again, if you haven't seen the standardized loadouts for X-Wing before, this is kind of what you get. It's going to be a larger card. It's got extra text on the side. So not only does it tell you what upgrades it's coming with, it also gives you the text for them. So you can actually read the cards. You don't have to pull out all of those individual cards. Sometimes you'll even see cards that have slightly different wording than the printed cards. So you really want to reference what's printed on the card itself, which is really, really cool. Also, you have updated action bars. If there's an upgrade that grants you a new action, it'll be represented over here as well. You still have your chassis ability over here, and an updated some upgrades that don't actually show up over here are reflected elsewhere. So one of the things that eagle-eyed viewers will notice already is that Darth Vader has an extra shield, so he has a shield upgrade incorporated into this build already. So if you'll notice, he has the third shield, which normally an X1 has only 2 shields. And so that's something that isn't, they didn't have to really waste the text space over on the right hand side of the card for. They just simply included it over to the left. Although if it's like something that you could potentially miss if your attention was immediately drawn to the upgrade, or the kind of the upgrades bar over here on the right. So Darth Vader's got a new pilot ability. He is still Initiative 6 at this point in the story, right? Because this is meant to be like a little bit more thematic and emblematic of Darth Vader chasing Luke Skywalker down the Death Star trench. It says, while you perform an attack, you may spend a force to change a blank result to a hit result. And so while you don't get to just spend a force after an action to do a whole nother action, which a lot of times Darth Vader players would use that to target lock and focus because you do still have the advanced targeting computer. So if you're running original Darth Vader, that's kind of always been the preferred way to run him. Hey, target lock first, then we'll go ahead and focus, spend that force, no problem, because now all of a sudden, we've got that double modded shot. We get to do all this fancy stuff. Or sometimes you would target lock into a barrel roll to try to reposition, or doing something like that is definitely. Or if you wanted to link it, you could do them both. If you don't mind having stress, although I'd kind of like to keep Darth Vader free of stress if possible, but that's just my personal playstyle. But here you have just a whole different way to approach it. He's more offensive. You're only going to get that one action, so you're probably going to be target locking right away and taking advantage of that advanced targeting computer. Again, you really want to target lock with the X1. And then you've got 3 force, so you won't have to actually spend a force to get the extra action. So you'll still have 3 force presumably ready to go at the beginning of the first round of shooting. So even if you do roll a couple of eyeballs, you can still spend the force to change those to hits normally. But you have a little bit more options for your force now, because you can change a blank to a hit. Now that's certainly helpful. You're going to have an extra die already. You can turn turn hits into crits. You have marksmanship, so if you're actually able to line up, you're going to get a free hit turned into a crit. So this version of Darth Vader really wants to be putting a lot of crits on your opponent. You can potentially you can almost reliably get 2 crits in each shot, which is going to be really nice. And then to make up for all of that force you're going to be spending, in the lack of being able to do other things with it, you may need to spend quite a bit of force, especially with that awesome pilot ability. Hate is going to allow you to start to recover force, and that's a good thing. Because people are going to probably be shooting at this guy because he's going to be putting lots of crits down on your ships. And then, of course, he also has afterburners, which is a really fun one. Is when you do have to K-turn, you do have to, like I said, I hate putting that stress on Vader, but if I do have to turn around, it's always really nice to be able to boost afterwards. This is one of my favorite things, is just to kind of put yourself in an interesting position, especially at Initiative 6. Afterburners is really cool at Initiative 6. So I think this is going to be a fun way to run Vader, but I am really curious what it costs. The article seems to imply that this would be cheaper than Vader in the TIE Defender. So, less than 9, but will it be more than 7? Is it going to be, appropriately cost to the existing Vader, or will he get even another point discount? Will they dare go down to 6? I'm gonna kind of wager it's going to be somewhere around 7. I think it'll probably be 7 points, but who knows? That's the mystery. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. So I'll just have to keep guessing. Next up, we see the return of a 1.0 favorite. Backstabber, one of Vader's wingmen, is back into the game. Again, we're going to see a lot of new versions of existing pilots in 2.0, and some all-new pilots show up in this whole pack, and also the kind of return of certain 1.0 pilots that hadn't yet shown back up in 2.0, which is really exciting. So Backstabber does have a couple of things. One of the things you're going to notice on the TIE fighters that come into this expansion is they get the extra mod of hull upgrade. As a matter of fact, Backstabber has 2 mods here with the afterburners as well, which is really cool. Yeah, so you're looking at 4 hull TIE fighters. Now, this is a way to do a lot of stuff that just aren't available to most named TIE fighters. They have very, very few upgrade slots even available. So the fact that we're getting 2 talents and 2, it's just incredible that we're getting that. So these will probably have a little bit of a points cost increase to reflect that they're a little bit more than your typical ties. This isn't going to be 2 and 3 point ships. I would guess this might, this could potentially go up to 4. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. I'm not sure how much of a discount they want to get. It all depends on how they weigh you not being able to make additional changes to this just being the standard loadout. So that's going to be really interesting. So Backstabber does have some named abilities here, right? It's got the pilot ability says, while you perform a primary attack, if friendly Darth Vader or Maul or Mythel are in your side arcs at range 0 to 1, you get to roll 1 additional attack die. So I definitely like this one. It does encourage formation flying. It's thematic. It's wanting to be next to Mauler or Vader, and so that's really cool. And of course, if they're both there, you're not going to get 2 extra dice. But yeah, if you're fortunate enough to get to range 1 on an enemy and also have your wingman on your left or right side, you're going to be able to roll 4 dice on that primary attack. Probably won't happen too often, but having a TIE fighter with 4 hull roll 3 dice, even at long range, is going to be pretty cool if you can stay in formation. To help you line up shots, you've got Crack Shot on there. You also have Disciplined. This is going to be a nice one for when ships eventually blow up, and I think Discipline's really good in TIE swarms because you do tend to have quite a few ships get blown up. It's not too uncommon. And then you also have Afterburners too. Again, really, really fun one, giving you the ability to boost even when you normally cannot. So always a fun one. We also have Mauler Mythel. So Mauler has been in, I think, every single variation of X-Wing. He's probably one of the most common TIE fighter pilots. Mauler and Howlrunner are probably the two most everywhere TIE fighter pilots. But yeah, so we've got, you know, sometimes I have to pause and look at the artwork, and I'm like, this is a really cool artwork piece. Now, to me, it looks a little bit like it's computer rendered, little CGI-ish, but at the same time, it's also really kind of, you know, the way the background is blurred and, you know, in contrast to the foreground, really gives that whole like I am chasing you down kind of mentality. So they really captured Mauler's kind of aspect. So I like it. Mauler has a kind of revamped pilot ability that's still kind of keeping in line with the whole concept of the theme of this pack. Also, while you perform a primary attack, if friendly Darth Vader or Backstabber is in your side arcs at range 0 to 1, roll 1 additional attack die. Now, the cool thing is, for these, you don't have to run the standard loadout version. So, if, for example, I could go with Backstabber, and I could go with traditional Mauler Mythel, if I wanted to do that, but I would still be able to trigger these abilities, because when a name is highlighted in bold here, it doesn't have to be the standard loadout version, it can be any version. So I could run Vader in a TIE Defender and still get this bonus if they're flying in formation, although usually it's a little easier to fly ships in formation if they have the same moves available, and TIE fighters, you know, that's why a lot of people like to fly ships of the same type in a swarm, because they have the same capabilities. You're also going to be getting that 4th hull on Mauler Mythel. You're going to have Predator here for the talent. While you perform a primary attack, the defender's in your bullseye, roll an extra, or sorry, you may re-roll an attack die. So extra, you know, free re-rolls are good, especially on, like, TIE fighters honestly usually just like to focus. That's what I usually do 90% of the time with my TIE swarms. You just have everybody focus, everybody's got it, they're good to go. Afterburner, again, we're seeing a little bit of a trend here, but, you know, for having TIEs boost is cool. So, yeah, so and you really effectively getting 2 mods here, because you get the hull upgrade and the Afterburners. We're seeing the triumphant return of one of the most beautiful art pieces in the whole set, as well as one of the most beloved and hated TIE pilots in the game, Dark Curse. A very, very difficult TIE fighter to kill all throughout my time playing X-Wing 1.0. Dark Curse is back, and now we have a 4-hull version, which is going to make Dark Curse even more difficult to kill. Although a lot of times we used to run Dark Curse with, you know, with the extra agility, you know, because, look, while you defend, the attacker's dice cannot be modified. So you're not going to get that 4th defense dice unless you're at range 3 or if you're behind an obstacle, which is definitely something you might want to do with Dark Curse. But you do get that 4th hull. You've got Ruthless on there, which is just so nasty to kind of hurt everybody else. By the way, also, did I mention that Dark Curse is Initiative 6 in this pack? In Initiative 6 TIE Fighter, Dark Curse has definitely had some changes from their first appearance in 1.0. We also have the precision ion engines in this one, so you know, not getting the Afterburners on Dark Curse, but this Dark Curse doesn't require the other named pilots to be nearby. So this is kind of more of a free-form drag and drop Dark Curse that can go into any build, whether it's going to be part of your Yavin scenario or it's going to be going into an existing build. This is just going to be a really tough TIE fighter to kill. At Initiative 6, though, I'm really curious where they're going to find a point cost for Dark Curse. I don't see this one being less than 4. So, but yeah, Initiative 6 ship is already pretty tough. Initiative 6 that can't be modified. And then also with the extra maneuvering flexibility that comes with the precision ion engines, I think that's going to be pretty interesting. So we'll have to see. Now, the only thing that kind of balances this and makes it not, you know, completely like super, super deadly, because while it is hard to kill, it's also not that much of an offensive threat. Ruthless helps make up for that though, because you get a little bit of extra dice modification at the cost of hurting your own ships. But sometimes you can afford to do that, especially if you want Dark Curse to go with, maybe another ship that has either shield regen or just hull to spare. It's something worth considering. Dark Curse looks nasty though. And then we have Wampa flying above the Death Star trench, flying up a little bit higher, and evading a whole lot of fire in this particular shot of artwork. Wampa is going to be Initiative 1. Also does have the hull upgrade. Again, all of the TIE fighters here have the hull upgrade. Wampa says, while you perform an attack, you may spend a charge to roll an additional attack die. After defending, lose the charge. So, again, if people ignore Wampa, then they're going to pay the price. So, like Wampa's basically got the equivalent of taunt in this game. Like, hey, come hit me first, hit me first. Of course, you have elusive there, so you're going to have a charge on the Wampa card pilot ability himself. You're also going to have a charge on the elusive ability. While you defend, you may spend a charge to re-roll a defense die. After you fully execute a red maneuver, recover that charge. So it's good when you need it. Hopefully, though, you can kind of keep Wampa to the side to where maybe they don't have the shot, and you get to take advantage of that. Again, that's just kind of one of the themes for a lot of these is extra dice, right? That's kind of one of the things that goes with a lot of these. Vader, of course, he's got the advanced targeting computer. He's got the extra dice. Backstabber and Mauler each have the extra dice. Dark Curse doesn't. But Dark Curse is kind of negating a lot of the benefits of other people's extra dice by saying they can't modify them. So I don't care if you got Force. I don't care if you got Target Lock or Focus tokens or Calculate tokens. Dark Curse just doesn't care. He's just like, no, you're going to roll those dice, and they're going to come up all blanks, and you're going to hang your head and walk away. Vengeful also. After a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, if this ship is limited, you may remove one of your red tokens or recover one of your recurring charge on your ship card. So that's like a cool kind of way to kind of work this into Wampa's pilot ability as well. So I kind of dig Vengeful on this one. Or if you do those, those K turns, it's another way to just free up a stress from you. Out of all of these, though, I think I'm most excited about the return of Dark Curse. I think he's going to be a really fun one to have on the field, also to very much infuriate your opponents. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your favorite pilot from this particular article, from this particular preview? Also, what is your favorite pilot from everything that you've seen so far from the Battle of Yavin? Because there's quite a few more pilots to talk about. We're going to be talking about some of the TIE interceptors in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. So if you want to see more X-Wing content, you're in the right place. Also, we talk about other games here, so I invite you to stick around, click that subscribe button. We talk about Star Wars Armada, we talk about Star Wars Legion, we talk about Star Wars board games, even other games too. Sometimes I'll even talk about Games Workshop games as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy the content. I'd love to have you stick around. Thank you so much for watching. Check the links in the description below. Also, big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this channel possible. So thank you for your continued support. I will talk to you very soon. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. So say we all. Always wash your socks and have a great day. Goodbye there.